100-yard dash. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. They will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance. Jump in the stands. No man, the man. Oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard.
Okay, Coach, it's the NFL playoffs on EA Sports. No bigger stage than this one. Sold-out MetLife Stadium, located just outside of New York City. Today, we continue on in Wild Card Weekend with a great AFC matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New York Jets. The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC Wild Card game. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Now that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block, but the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
On second and very short, Cousins, and this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. Yards last time, now they double it and get 10 here. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. And the movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And an alley to run. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Mike, check. First. Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get it.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Dancing to his left. He'll try and run it. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Hey, team 6.
58, come on. Let's go. Two. Let's go. 58, boys, 58, come on.
Where's the hot?
On 3rd down, Cousins. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
Jahan, where are you?
Check, you know it. Check pass.
What's that?
A first down throw for Cousins. And this is complete. It's Allen. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Jaguars drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This will be taken in at the 1. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. Credit the tackle there to Aaron Lynch.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. Avery Williamson there to make the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he'll get this into the hands of Braxton Berrios. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Out of his end zone, Cousins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And it's a touchdown for the Jets. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They start on the ground with Elliott. And an alley to run. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Open man, it's Allen. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. 1st and 10. Cousins. He's got this one complete to Perriman. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
That one, a first down pickup of 8. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. These two teams all tied after 1. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Jaguar linemen might have moved. And now they're back to needing 10 yards on second down.
Hey, Haywood!
From the gun, here's Cousins. That is caught at the 7. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. It's a gain of 35. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. He'll have a first down past the 40 and all the way up to the 45-yard line. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. On the carry, it's Muhammad. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
2nd and 14. They'll roll him out right. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they begin this drive in very precarious field position inside their own 5.
And remember, this is a defense that's already scored once in this game, so you've got to really take care and make sure that you're blocking these guys to try and wedge the ball out from the shadow of your own end zone.
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out.
Here's Grant. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
The
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins, complete to Hilton. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
There's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. On 2nd down now, it's Elliott. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Mike, check, 59. Hey, D, Mark. 59.
Cousins now from the 50. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Listen to me.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. He's got a man. That's Keenan Allen. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin. Try to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11, and the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back, and he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. It's a 6-yard loss on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Let's go now. 50, plant.
56.
Now a give, right side. Muhammad, and a loose football, and the Jags grab it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
Lynn 50.
Let's go, Heavy. What you got?
61, matchbox, lights.
Give me some. Here we go. Rush in. 36, 3300. Check 37.
First down. Here's Cousins. Drops it underneath to Elliott. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Switch. Zebra.
To throw, Cousins. Flushed out right. And this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. Flush to his right. Looking for his tight end, Eifert, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Here we go.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
First down. 1st and 10 at the
36 now. 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And now the throw taken in by Chark. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They run it with Carson. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Unfortunately for you, you've been around me for a little while now, so you know me as well as anyone and how I look at a game. I don't ever advocate abandoning anything. But in this case, I'm going against my own thought process. You've got to change it up. You got to start throwing it around a little bit, finding ways to try and move the ball because keeping on the ground just isn't working for them.
Yeah, maybe get him the ball out of the passing game, a swing pass outside or something, just something to vary it up. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
From the 27, Cousins. He's got Jack Doyle.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Jahan, what I need?
Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Here we go.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Let's go, defense.
Go,
defense.
hey, orbit.
59, Mike is 59. Mike to 59.
Cousins now to throw on first down. That one complete to Elliott. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Mike 58 right there. I'm coming.
On second down, it's Grant. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
I enjoyed watching Robert Quinn in pregame warm-ups with you down on the field. Did it surprise you how tall and angular he is? You wouldn't think he'd be able to play against the run that well, would you?
But he can, and he showed it right there, didn't he?
That's that wrestling background he has. He understands leverage as well as anyone in the game. A big-time wrestler in high school. He didn't lose very often.
3-time heavyweight state champ in South Carolina. 11 yards there for Jacksonville, and a first down as well. Cousins on first down. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. In for the score. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Got a man, it's Berrios, complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Looking sideline, incomplete. DJ Chark, the intended target, but it's going to be second down.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now.
Check 56. Rabbit. 56 for Mike. 56.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Going deep for Eifert. And that's caught inside the 30. Over 30 yards there. And first downs on 3 consecutive plays now. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They run again with Carson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. The Jets on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd down and 12. He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Malik Hooker, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said. 3rd and long, got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
He takes this for 3 to the 29. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12.
General West.
Set it tall. 25. Check 25. Check 25.
Cousins to throw it this time. Caught by Allen. And he takes it all the way down to the 3.
Let's go. Let's go.
It's a big play for the Jaguars. 56 yards. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
First.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. Now he's got it. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. From 3 yards out, and the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
Look, we all know that sometimes we see upsets in the wild card round, but I have to tell you, in this case, I did not see that coming.
I don't think anyone in the stadium saw it coming. You and I were coming in before the game. There was a couple in front of us talking about travel plans for next weekend. They might want to cancel those.
Yeah, I would say so, because right now it's looking more and more like they're going to be one and done. They're probably trying to call the hotel and make sure they get their security deposit back.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Avery Williamson. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Hey, 382, let's 50.
And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with it.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. It's a gain of 34. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That goes for a gain of 31. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line.
Don't throw this way.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Here they come, 2nd and 10 now from the 10. Throwing here, Cousins looking deep for Hilton. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. This is Elliott. And he's going to come up well shy of the 1st here as the tackle's made right around the 12.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield. It's been a struggle all game for them on offense. This was a chance to maybe provide a little bit of a spark with a punt return. Unfortunately, that spark got doused.
Yeah, and you call special teams the 3rd phase, but you see here it can be the 1st phase sometimes.
That is so true, right? It can ignite it one way or the other, and boy, that didn't help them at all.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jarrell Casey able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. He's going to let it fly. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Well, 1 win down, still 3 to go to get to the most hallowed ground in sports, but a good start.
A terrific start because they get to move on. Unfortunately for the team that lost, it's a long offseason ahead for them now.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.